Hello, my friends, and welcome to another month of Tool Time Tuesday. This month, as you can see, we are going to be working with stencils. So every month for Tool Time Tuesday, and all of those folks that are participating will be linked in the description box. But there is a focus for all of us during each month, and for the month of April, it is stencils for all of us. And so some of us have a lot of stencils, some of us may not have very many stencils. I'm kind of in the middle. I don't have any large stencils, like 12 by 12, so I mostly have these, what I consider like smaller ones. So here I'm just showing you some of the ones in my stash. I'm just going through them, trying to pick some out. And I'm making little heart symbols for any of the ones that I love, like that one. Some of these are relatively new into my space, like that one's well loved. And I did try to get that clean, and it just never came clean after that last ink that I used. But anyway, so this is like, I was like, hey, what the heck is this? It's been a long time in my stash. Some of these, like I said, those two are relatively new. They come in, like, I've gotten them in warehouse boxes. Some of them, honestly, I have purchased, but the majority of them have come in warehouse boxes. These all came from my days. I believe it was from Scraptastic. They always used to put a stencil or a Kit Club. I don't remember which one it was. It could have been Hip Kit for all I know. It's they've been in my stash for a long time, and so they have different interesting shapes. So every once in a while I will, not often enough, but I will dig in here and try to use some of them. I definitely don't use them as often as I should, so this is a perfect opportunity to be able to use them. Now I'm doing something a little bit differently. Some people will call it cheating, but um, that I'm going to set off to the side because, oh, that's another one, a gorgeous one I love. I've used, it's one of the first ones that I used gesso on, and I colored it. Oh, beautiful. Um, this one, yeah, I never used. Um, and so I was saying, some people might call it cheating. Hey, I'm trying to finish up this layout. So I am bringing in a couple of base pages that I did with the Webster's Pages Farmers Market collection. I will zoom out. I just realized that I'm zoomed in because of the stencil. Here we go. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm crooked. I didn't even realize that. Um, but you get a gist of what I have left in the collection. Whoa, why did we just go really bright? Whoa. Huh. Very interesting. And my lighting didn't change at all, but obviously it did. Maybe something with the camera. So I'm going through my photos here and trying to make a selection. And I'm thinking I want the papers, the two pages, like in the orientation that they are right now. That will change. Oh, and I'm sorry for the horrible glare. I'm filming this at night, which I'm so out of practice with. Oh my gosh, what the heck is that? That is bizarre. That is so weird, you guys. Is it Morse code? Is it somebody sending me a signal? um, that is so strange. And so I recorded this in the evening, and so I'm just playing with the photos, and I'm trying my best to figure, oh my, I don't know if it's going to keep doing it. I apologize if it's, I apologize if it's hurting your eyes. And you know what the thing about these photos is that they're matte. They're not even glossy. But obviously you get some glare off of matte, but still. Very interesting. This is, I can honestly say it never happened. So I'm going through and I'm trying to pick up some photos from this set of printed photos, and I don't end up using them. Even right now, as I'm doing the voiceover, I really don't know if I am going to, oh goodness, um, if I'm going to use all of them. So I was thinking about doing an insert um, of maybe like a project life page. So yeah, so I'm still not quite sure as to how I'm going to finish this particular layout, but I've I just went ahead and I messed with the settings. Hopefully those brightness, if it keeps happening, it won't be as bad. I don't, yeah, it's still kind of happening, huh? Well, maybe not. All right, so here I'm going through and I'm picking out a couple of different inks that I think will go with the layout, and I have them set off to the side. One is a Prima chalk ink, and I'm gonna start to test it here in just this little scrap of paper. And I just want to take a look at to see how pigmented both of the inks are, whether or not I want to use these different like distress tools, or what I might want to bring in. So um, I'm going through here, and I remember that I had this little brush. It's just those makeup brushes, foundation brushes from the Dollar Tree that I just use, and this works like a dream. I don't care, you know, I don't need a whole set of them. Obviously, I barely use these stencils, so but this one from the Dollar Tree, it works amazing, and it just gives that soft texture to the ink that I want. So I know for sure that's what I'm going to use. I don't want to get, because I've tested the yellow and the green, I don't want that to get on my layout. So I'm just wiping this with just a quick baby wipe, um, and I'm just trying to air dry my stencil so it's not wet. And then I was like, oh wait, I have paper towels. I can dry this off faster. So that's what I'm doing here. And oh, you're gonna see um like this is the things that nightmares are made of. So I'm just showing you here that I've made some markings so that I know what areas are going to be exposed, and so the areas obviously that I want to concentrate my stenciling on. Um, just because I did a placement of the photos, just a test run, and then I mark them with just pencil. So here I'm just rubbing my chalk ink instead of the vice versa laying, because you can't really lay down that ink. So I'm just spreading it, and then I'm going over it just very lightly, just to give it a little bit of dimension. And I can't remember if this is where it happens. Yep, right there. You see that? Catastrophe. Curses. And it left a mark, of course, on my layout, but not to worry. That's where the photo is going to be. So I'm not too worried about that. I'm going to have to figure something out with this ink because it is still full of ink. The pad, because I haven't had it very long, but I probably should not be using it that way. Mental note. Don't use your Prima chalk inks like that. So I just kind of just threw it back into the container, and until I figure out what to do with it. If this has ever happened to you and you have found a solution besides just throwing it back in there, let me know. Okay, so now I'm like, I don't know if I like it. I'm like, it feels like it needs something else. So I'm just wiping it again. I'm gonna dry it off again. And then I did keep the green ink. It's like a very soft, like olive color, which is what's in the paper as well. So I am just cleaning off my brush here as best as I can. And then I'm gonna go over with the stencil again, but with the green. The brush dries really, really fast, and there's still some color on it, so I was really glad I went over it with on this paper towel. But it dried super fast, so I'm like, let me just test the green again, because obviously this is what these are made for, right? I don't think the Prima ones you're supposed to use like I was using, but it's fine. So I decided, I'm like, I think I'm just gonna add, I don't think I'm gonna dip it back in the ink. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with, because I wanted to kind of, there's a technique. It's like a stamp off, or a second generation or something like that. Michelle, right? Michelle, if you're watching, she's the one that taught me. I think she calls it a second generation. So where you stamp off, like you dab it on a scrap piece of paper or something, and then you go into it with a much um, less of a concentration of the ink, so that it gives it a more pastel-y look, which is the look that I was going for in this one. And I'm going to set that off to the side here, and oh yes, I'm going to clean off my stencil like a good girl. And it's everywhere. Like the ink, the stuff is just getting all over. So I'm just going to set that off to the side to just let it air dry. And yeah, and I'm going to finish cleaning up my brush. And that will air dry as well. Every once in a while, I guess if I use them often enough, I'm going to have to wash my little brush, but it's good for now. So I'm just tidying up after all of that, because I think I'm going to begin matting my photos. I think. Or, no, they're already matted. So I'm just waiting for that to dry, and I'm just starting off on the left side. I'm not going to touch the right side until it dries, but oh, maybe I'm lying. Maybe I'm just trying to look and see. Yeah, I don't think I leave them on there, because I do want that to dry really good. And I will slowly just begin. Yeah, see, I'm just setting them off to the side so that properly dries. And then I'm going to start working on, I've got a hot mess all around me. Isn't that the case with mixed media? And anytime you do anything, like anytime I do anything, like it just, if I use a lot of stuff, it just gets, like it covers my surface. This is why, one of the reasons why I shifted a lot of my tools, particularly off my desk. If you're interested in seeing some organizational videos and how I've set up my desk, I will have that playlist linked for you guys, and at the end card. Um, and here I'm just playing around with some embellishments I had put on wax paper when I made the base pages, and I think I took this one to a crop, so I may have pulled some elements. At that time, I didn't even know what I was going to scrap with it, but there are some travel related sentiments in there. So, um, and summer related, because these pictures were taken in the summertime. So, some of the other things that I will bring in here besides these are some of the cut aparts, and that one is actually fussy cut from the cut apart sheet, or one of them. And I'm going to use that as my title, and it does say good times. I'm going to anchor that with this. I just want the pop of yellow. I don't really care about the sentiment. So I'm just trying to find a way that I can adequately cover the words. And then I can pop up my title on some foam. So I'm going to leave a lot of this part of the process. I will perhaps take some photos of the final layout for you guys, and I will take photos um, of any additional, if I end up doing a project life page, which I still haven't done, like I mentioned, I will insert a photo of that as well. Okay, I'm taking a look at my nails. Okay, could have cut this off. I think I started noticing I had like a paper cut or something, and then I'm like, is it me? I'm like, what the heck's going on? Is it a paper cut? Is it my nail that needs like filing? Anyway, so I'm going through and I'm just erasing all of my pencil marks because I'm ready to embellish, but I want to make sure that this is dry. So you'll see me. I think I'm gonna audition some of the ephemera that I want to add to this side of the layout. Uh, and um, maybe, yep, that's what I'm doing. And then I'm just looking through anything in my cut aparts here that I might be able to add. So here's, you see me just auditioning different pieces. That blue one actually does stay, and I just add to that with um, some additional embellishments. And this is the base of it, but you know that you can't really see it. That blue paper on the left hand side is embossed. I did emboss that when I was creating that base page. And that's it, it actually does look a lot like this. Here are some additional pieces. I have glued all of the photos down at this point. I have gone ahead and I have finalized the title. I went through and I decided to bring in this navy in because I had a stamp set that I had pulled for travel related photos, and that's what you see I am adhering. This was a road trip that we took a summer, bringing my youngest stepdaughter down to school, and so um, it it did encompass obviously us traveling a number of states, and so I thought the travel stuff was pretty much on target here. I'm just so all of these different elements in the navy I have stamped and fussy cut, which I am not a good fussy cutter. So the fact that I did it, let me tell you, you could do it. I'm on another mission to use up this Zig um, pen, like glue pen, because it's been in my stash for, I don't know, it's been around a lot longer than some of my relatives. So it's a long time. It's a long time coming. So, but it still works. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you the final layout.